Hello golfers, do you want to learn how to finally fix that faulty takeaway that you have? Stick around, I'm going to show you how. Simple, easy little drill involving a golf tee. That's right, a golf tee. Stick around, I'm going to also put in a little bonus tip where I'm going to show you not only how to fix that faulty takeaway, but we're going to learn how to keep your club on plane to start hitting much better shots. So if you're somebody that has that faulty takeaway, more than likely what you're doing is you are starting your backswing with the butt end of the grip that is not working as straight back as I know it could or should be. In other words, if the end of the grip is working out and away from you this way, you can see the club is already instantaneously off plane. Not only that, but when the club is working out like this, you can see the club face that's fanning open. That's a pretty deadly scenario for too many of you out there. Conversely, if we have the end of the grip that's working more inwardly this way, where it's almost brushing my right pocket here, you can see the club is working very under the shaft plane, probably throwing off my downswing, probably resulting in a shot that I didn't want to hit. One of the best tips I ever received to help with the initial takeaway move was from my mentor, Rick Smith. If you don't happen to know who Rick Smith is, Google him, and I'll even put his YouTube channel on the screen here and in the description below. Rick Smith, in my humble opinion, is the best golf teacher in the world. I was so blessed and so fortunate to have worked for Rick for 5 summers in the mid-90s up in northern Michigan, Treetops Resort. And during those 5 fabulous summers, I got to meet a lot of the tour players that Rick was working with. Phil Mickelson, Lee Janzen, Rocco Mediate, on and on and on, major championship winners. And what Rick said is so many people are focused on what the club head is doing, and rightly so, because that's what's hitting the golf ball, obviously. However, you might benefit from thinking about what the butt end of the grip is doing. Because as Rick mentioned, if the butt end of the grip is working straighter back, it's giving you a much better chance to get that initial takeaway move more on plane. It's also helping to keep the club face more square. So the next time you hit balls, perhaps think about what the end of the grip is doing. Let's get it moving straighter back this way. And I'm going to show you the easiest little drill you can do to help accomplish that. But before I show you that drill, this little concept or visual or thought or feel could also help as well. The back of the left hand, typically the logo of the glove there, if that is pointing more at the target as you make your initial backswing move, that will help keep this butt end of the grip working straighter back, and it'll help to keep the club face more square. Because if the logo of your glove is fanning up towards the sky, the club face fans open, the club is more than likely having worked off plane right away. So we need to fix that. Now regarding that little drill with the tee, simply take the tee and just place it right in the end of the grip here. You don't have to put it in all the way, just put it in maybe about an inch or so at most, so you can see the vast majority of the tee sticking out. If it's even a little longer tee, all the better. But the purpose of that is just a little reminder of what's happening with your initial takeaway. So when you're looking down and you see that tee there, you want to get that tee that's working more straight back. Because yet again, like I just described, if that tee or the butt end of the grip is pushing away from you, we got problems. Conversely, like I say, if that tee's coming in here, it might even brush my pants. It's throwing everything off. So as you're looking down, not only at the ball, but I've been looking at this tee. So as you make a few slow rehearsal swings, you want to simply see that that tee, that gap between here and your body is staying relatively consistent. I've got another great video. I'll put it up on the screen right here. You can take a look at this one here. It's involving tracing the top of a shoebox. It is the epitome of the easiest drill you could possibly do to help improve your initial backswing plane or shape. Watch that one. You're going to enjoy it. It's very helpful. I know it's going to help you. Now here's that little bonus drill I promised you, as I mentioned at the start of the video. This is actually, again, from my mentor Rick Smith, as he called it his little mini swing drill. It's very simple. All we need to do is grab 2 golf balls. Let's put one about 3 feet directly behind your main ball, and then another one here about 3 feet in front of your main ball. So let's get these equally spaced here. As you get set over your ball, use maybe 8-iron, 7-iron. That would be a great club to use for this little drill. As you make that bettered initial takeaway, again, this tee is working straighter back. What you're going to notice is when that happens with some turn of the body, I always mention that. Sometimes I'll see players just swing back and they're just all arms. Club goes here, goes over here, goes all over the place, and there's no turn of the body. We need some dynamic motion. We need the body moving and turning. So as you get set here like this, as you work this back slowly, that space was quite consistent, fabulous. And from my vantage point, it looks like the club head is covering that back ball. I'm on plane. Then, as I continue that back a little bit further, as I hinge the wrists, now I can see clearly that this tee is pointed at the back ball. I'm dead nuts on plane. I've made a perfect backswing shape to this point. I have given myself a way better chance to make a way better downswing. Now, if we run this through a little bit further, as we go from here to here, this is really only as far as you need to go. Now, momentum may take you a little bit further, sure, but then on the way down, you're now trying to drive the end of this tee into the back of your ball that you're trying to hit. What that's doing, it's keeping your club on plane. This is such a simple little drill, because if this tee starts working behind you this way, you can see the club is pitching forward and I'm working over the top. I'm going to be outside in, hitting another slice. Conversely, if I am someone that shallows the club too much, which is only about 10% of the golfing universe that overly shallows the club, but you can see the tee here is pointed 10 miles down the road. It's not pointed at the target line. So as we do this here, 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 there, beautiful. Now as we start working into impact, driving the tee into the back of the ball I want to hit, it's helping to keep the club on plane. The club head now is approaching from inside of the back ball. And now as I approach impact, I've got a way better chance of hitting more solid shots. Then, what is happening as I swing through impact and post-impact, the club head is essentially now repointing at that forward ball. Also, as I have some release, my right hand, wrist, forearm is turning over the left hand, wrist, and forearm. I'm closing the club face through the hitting zone in order to hit a nice draw. And then what happens from that scenario is the wrists from the re-hinging over here, the tee now points at the forward ball. All the while, I've kept that club on plane, and I've given myself the best chance to get the best results. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Beautiful little draw, solid. everything most of you guys are hoping to do, and I know you can. This is so simple. So visualize what's happening with the T in the end of the grip so that you can monitor what's happening with this initial space on the way back. And then not only that, but working on getting the club on plane. So hopefully you got something out of that video today. And if so, please hit the like and subscribe button. I would appreciate that. It'll help to grow my channel. And as always, simply subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to give you a free swing analysis. The instructions are down below in the description. Send me some swings. I'd love to help.